Okay, is it me saying good morning?
Good morning, Australia.
Good morning, Australia. Good evening, everyone else.
And hello.
I told you she was coming. Yes, and hello, Buffy. All right. No. You go. How about we take me out for 2 seconds while I sort this out? And then, so
hold on.
Hi,
Brilliant.
kids.
Hello, everybody.
In a while. As you can see, we have a new face. Everyone say hello to Steven or Steve.
Hi. Yeah. Steve will do. Steven when I'm in trouble.
Okay. Well,
Miss Steven when you're nasty.
Well, Stevie, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Introduce yourself to the fam.
Okay. Well, so I am Luke's friend. We very ironically met through PlayStation Network. That sounds really strange, but we were playing the Friday the 13th game, and we just kind of developed a friendship, and now we talk every day. And so I heard about Uncensored and became a viewer / listener. And then he's like, "You got to be on." I'm like, "Oh, okay." No, tomorrow. I was like, "Oh, right, awesome. I'm ready. I'm prepared."
Are you still playing the Friday the 13th game? Because we're gonna have to get switch gamer tags for this.
Yeah, we did. We tried last night. So we had a couple of games last night. It's still kind of alive. It's trying to live.
Okay, so we'll organize the Uncensored Friday the 13th session then.
Sounds amazing.
Because I had the game too.
You do, Kate. You really never said this, Katie.
You never asked. You never asked.
Well, you should have known if I was dressing up as Chad for the Todd Farmer interview.
Luke, I gotta be honest with you. Never pegged you for a gamer.
I am a gamer. We're big gamers, aren't we, Steve? In the sense that we're not good at it.
We try.
Oh, I'm not good at it. Kyle has
I don't know what people must think, because we usually play fairly late at night, and headset on, and we're just screaming at each other. So I had people going, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Never mind. You don't need to know my business."
Oh yeah, no, I've had people listening on me, and they're like, "Why are you screaming like a woman?" And I'm like, "Because my woman just died. Okay, she's dead."
I'm usually screaming because I can't get Jason to get moving, so I'm screaming, "Kyle, how do I make a move? Why isn't he killing this camper?
Oh no,
what's going on here?"
Katie, what you got to do is you got to do some offline games by yourself. You got to really train that Jason, and then get on.
Oh, honey, bold of you to assume I was online screaming. This was offline, and Kyle's in the kitchen screaming for help. No. Mom is incapable of a lot of things, but I still play, and we'll set up a session. It'll be fun. But
and anyone watching, by all means, message us. We'll play with you if you play Friday the 13th. And we do GTA 5 as well. I do that sometimes because,
Yeah, we do.
Because we can make over our characters all the time. That's all we do.
Everyone, I will be screaming the whole time that we're playing because I don't understand it. I am just completely inept. But I love it.
Right, so if you want to come in and hear Katie being like a hysterical mess, by all means, join us with an Uncensored Radio Friday the 13th session.
That is a great segue. Speaking of hysterical messes, has everyone seen Ben Shapiro lately?
Now that is a great segue, Kate. You get the crown.
Yes.
So we were talking earlier about how you can't ever have enough of Cardi B because you really can't. So Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion released a new song. I'm not really sure how they pronounce the WAP. Either way,
it depends on how you hear it.
Either way, it stands for wet ass pussy. And Ben Shapiro had a fit about it. And if you can't see it, the tweet says, "As I also discussed on the show, my only real concern is that the women involved, who apparently require a quote unquote bucket and a mop, get the medical care they require. My doctor, wife's differential diagnosis, bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection, or
trichomonas." Oh my gosh.
So
trichomonas, that's a pretty nasty thing to do.
So I think that Hero, should we tell Ben that having a aroused vagina is kind of normal?
Yeah, exactly.
doctor wife can't figure out that vaginal secretion is a normal part of excitement, then Mr. Ben's doing it all fucking wrong.
This is just Ben's roundabout way of saying I've never made my wife come. That's
Exactly.
basically what he's
Oh my gosh. This is one of those shows today, Katie.
I'm very surprised to find out that Ben has a wife. I would have pegged him for a husband kind of guy.
Maybe he has done it.
I feel like
Yeah, I was thinking, is she a little beard
So
that doesn't secrete?
is she a little bug?
Those
Shut up,
types
So
tend to hide behind women.
him just talking to his wife, a wet ass pussy. Well, that's just sick. Don't you agree, Dr. Wife? Oh,
Yes.
But if
It's a
she's a
silent
doctor,
yeah.
obviously she has some intelligence. What do you think's the draw card there for her?
well, I
Is
mean,
it just
she would probably have given up on her sex life. It's like, yeah, whatever. Just get out.
I'm not completely convinced that she's that good a doctor if she doesn't understand that wet is part of fun.
I guarantee that he is twisting her words, and she's probably like, "That is not what I said." And Vera and I were discussing off air that the secretions from something like GV and being aroused are completely different.
I can't believe you guys have
Luke. I heard the pre-show
Not to
conversation.
I'm going to say what goes on this show.
I couldn't.
Not
I heard the pre-show conversation. I could not. I did this number.
Boom!
Boom.
You guys try to outnumber me. I'm going to pull out the vagina talk.
Well,
There you go.
as another segue into
Wait, no,
other.
no. Oh no, I'm not done. I've got.
Oh, you're
video
not
of it.
done.
Oh, I've got video of it. You got to see Ben Shapiro reading these lyrics because
He's going to spit
Here's some
some
lyrics.
wicked
Ready?
rhyme.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. P word is female genitalia. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet. Come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like a lot more vulgar. Talk your
I never
lip,
thought I would agree with Ben Shapiro, but he's right. It just gets way more vulgar. I mean,
You know what? I'm going to call the big bullshit on this whole line of discussion with Mr. Shapiro, who's a fucking ass Trumper. He did not get to call anybody out for using the P word when he is behind President Pussy Grabber himself. Fuck you and your misogyny, Ben Shapiro. Go to hell, you asshole.
Thanks, Vera.
I fucking dare you.
it's been a while since we had a Vera rant.
No, we've fired Vera
It's been a while.
early on. Cardi B fired Vera.
Actually, I agree with you. It's a bop. It's awesome. We miss you.
Oh,
Love
gosh.
you.
Total misogyny bullshit. President Pussy Grabber can brag about how he takes women without their consent, but this woman can't sing about her own pleasure. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, Ashley.
Take your histrionic misogyny and cram it straight up your ass.
He's probably enjoying that.
Should we give him some
Okay,
blue
word,
or-
Vera. No, I think Vera's gone for it tonight. I love Vera when she's fired up.
Vera
She's the
goes
best.
Yes.
Hold on. There's more.
There's more. Oh my gosh.
I don't
I wanted to segue to the next story, but let's keep going because this is good.
It has nothing to do with Ben Shapiro, but Carol Baskin, if you didn't notice that there was a wild cat in the video, and Carol Baskin called Cardi out for having those cats in there because she's a big animal rights activist. So you know what my girl
Cardi B could be going missing pretty soon.
So you know what my girl Cardi said to her?
No.
She clapped back. She clapped back.
She clapped back and said, "You killed your goddamn husband."
Yep.
Are you seeing all the weird videos? Carol Baskin's obviously doing
She's bored.
like cameos right now for people, and they're getting her to do really creepy stuff, and she's doing it because she's obviously oblivious to the fact they're taking the piss out of her. Because there was one where she was like singing a song. It was like it was really vulgar.
She was singing in the club with her husband. Someone like paid her to say happy birthday to someone. She's going, go, go, go. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's.
I saw that one. That was so gross. I was scared.
I usually say I'm the whitest person I know. But I think
Carol Baskin is the whitest person
Carol
we
beat
know.
me. Carol beat me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Easy.
I know way
She's a
more,
white widow.
honey.
So that's all I've got about Cardi, but I thought that was great.
Well, while we're on the theme of unstable women.
Whoa.
Oh.
No. Selina Kyle, which is played by Michelle Pfeiffer, is actually in talks right now to be in The Flash.
Yes,
And they're also talking to Michael Keaton as well to be Batman.
You see that?
But yeah.
Oh,
So
Affleck.
could you imagine Michelle getting back into the
Pfeiffer and
vinyl?
Michael Keaton coming to The Flash as their characters?
Oh, Katie's like giving the lowdown to us.
My husband's a big superhero nerd, so I wanted to know if he out on me.
Yeah, no.
It's
So
actually for the movie.
It was Batman.
Oh, it's for the Flash movie. It's not.
Yeah, there's going to be a Flash.
He's matter of fact.
Flash
saying, well, that was
universe
a long
movie.
time ago.
And it's going to jump through time, kind of like the Avengers did. You know,
Yeah, and they're going to go back maybe to the 80s with the Burton era of Batman. That's really cool. I don't know how Michelle's going to go getting into that thing. So I remember she said at the time she had to be sewn into that suit. Well, I don't think it'll be that much fun in your 60s. But if she's willing to do it, man, like, hey.
She still looks great in her 60s, so I'm sure she would fit in the same costume.
Luke, how could you? She's a woman.
She's a woman. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's amazing though, that they sort of, I think Hollywood and that might be getting it now, that they know that this is what people of our age group want to see, kind of, like old stuff. My child's knocking right here because she wants.
DC is starting to get it because they're trying to chase Marvel, so they're going, what was popular? Tim Burton's Batman. Let's go. Grab it, run.
I got to tell you, I think that DC and Marvel have a pretty good market because we don't have any heroes anywhere else.
Oh, Vera, are you saying Ben Shapiro is not your hero?
Oh, no.
You should get them made into a shirt. It rhymes and everything.
I'm sorry, my hero keeps bouncing back again after she gets put in the hospital, but that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
The notorious RBG.
Oh, yes.
Who is alive out of spite? Like, can we all agree that she is alive out of spite, Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Oh, absolutely. She is hanging on until this motherfucker's out of office. She is saying, no, I'm not ready. She has kicked the Grim Reaper out of her room a couple of times.
I'm just shocked. like you think like, oh man, that's it. Like we're done for. So close to the election, and she just bounces right back like, I'll be in court.
Do you really think we're going to have a democracy if Trump really manages to tank the Postal Service and screw this election?
I love that. Like, he openly admitted that he's fucking with the election.
Well, if you say it out loud, it's not a conspiracy then, right? It's just normal. Hey, nothing to see here.
His advisors are
child traffickers.
His advisors are going, you're supposed to say that part quietly, not out loud.
Everybody who tells him to keep it quiet is gone. He's got nothing but tutu fluffers.
Nothing but yes, man.
But, speaking of the election, so just like the last election, SNL is probably going to be ramping up for a pretty good season with their parodies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited to see Jason Sudeikis come back as Joe Biden. I think it's going to be great.
Well, who's Biden's new running mate?
And Maya Rudolph.
I know, right?
And I love Maya Rudolph. This is going to be so good.
The cool aunt.
So Nakia actually showed. So Biden's new, there you go, his new VP. is a woman of color, and oh my gosh, poor Nikki, like her comments blew up because she never posts anything political ever. Holy heck, those comments are just crazy. She actually had to comment in the end. She's like, look, I didn't even say who I'm voting for or whatever. She's like, if you don't like what I post, just stay off my page. Like, it got that bad.
Oh, wow.
Very quickly.
Right or
the haters are going to hate, though. I mean, they can't decide whether she's not black enough or whether she's too black, whether she's not liberal enough or whether she's too liberal. I mean, I've seen it all. It's like the haters are just out there spinning whatever they want.
She's also of Asian descent too. So right or left, this is a big time. She is a woman of color running in the VP.
Yes.
It's never happened before. You got to admit, whether you're going to vote for her or not.
And that's all Nakia's point was. Well, she's like, this is the first time, even a person of color's been a VP, let alone a woman, like a woman person of color. That's all she was pointing out. She was like, she was just pointing out that just matter of fact, and all of the people on her page, it was like a big brawl straight away, like just a big political debate. And she was like, I'm not political. I'm not even saying who I'm voting for. I just thought it was cool.
Well, the trolls are out in force. I was just cruising through my social media, and I follow a page called Being Liberal. And somebody named Joe Bean posted a little graphic called Joe and the Hoe. And I pulled up his profile, and it's just a picture of the flag and a picture of the flag, and says Joe lives in California. Well, and so I'm like, oh, Joe, California, Soviet Union, Russia, what? So I said, please say hello to Boris and Natasha for me.
And you know what I thought was kind of funny about my page was it wasn't, and I'll admit it, I don't have a ton of people on my page who are of the right wing or libertarian variety. I have a few, and I'll admit it. It's fine, whatever. I tend to kind of keep my mouth shut mostly, but it's mostly my liberal friends who are tearing apart Kamala, honestly. And I get it, but these people are still going to vote. They're still going to vote for her in the fall. They're just kind of like, you're allowed to be upset with the pick. You're allowed to not like her, but in the end, it's what it's one or the other.
I think that's what America needs to get to, because here in Australia, we have to vote. We legally have to vote, otherwise you get fined. But like in America, like everyone's taking the piss out of like the woman that had like the Mount Rushmore thing on her breast with Trump on there as well. But like, take the piss out of her, but she's going to vote. So make sure you vote as well. Like if you want things to change, it's up to you.
She won't have COVID by the election.
I mean, my big issue with Kamala, and I'm still going to vote for her, but she's not as progressive as everyone says she is. She's not. And to say that, and she has come along.
That's what one of my friends said, though. She was like, more or less, this is a step towards what a lot of liberal
it's a baby step. It's a baby step. And she has come a long way from where she was. I'll give her that. She has progressed in her career, but she is not a progressive. She's not what the progressive voters were looking for. And I get them being upset about that.
Because they wanted Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren's not the ideal candidate either. I wanted Stacey Abrams.
I love Stacey Abrams. She was one of my top picks. But, I heard somebody make the analogy when you ask for Coke and the waitress says, we only have Pepsi. Well, okay, I get that. Yes, they're not exactly what you want. But Pepsi is a hell of a lot closer to Coke than Orange Fanta.
I'm still going to vote.
Beer's a fire.
I love that beer.
I'm still going to vote for them. I can't take 4 more years of this bullshit. I'm just saying, she is not the progressive candidate I wanted. But
no, and I think that's what a lot of people who are very like progressive liberal, they didn't. She's not exactly what you guys wanted, but she's the best thing as opposed to what's the opposition.
She's not what we want, but she's what we need.
You have got to admit that the progressives in this race have moved even Joe Biden, who's really Republican light, and Amy Klobuchar, who I also think is Republican light. The progressives and this dialogue have really moved the party closer to, some sort of progressive ideal, even though the progressive platform was the Republican platform in 1958 before any of us were born.
Oh, no, I agree with you 100%. And if Joe goes through with what he's saying he's going to go through with, then great. I'm glad we're moving closer to where we need to be. But until then, it's more of the same. It's just a white guy making promises he's not going to keep and a cop.
I actually heard, and I don't remember who it was. It was a black pundit, and she was on a liberal station, of course, but she was talking about why the black vote swings the way it does. And she was saying, and this is paraphrased, I'm not going to be able to quote her directly, but what she was saying is that the black vote completely understands that the majority of Americans do not have a clue what it means to be black. But we know that Joe Biden isn't going to try to hurt us. So they're going with that. She was essentially saying that the black vote swings with the devil they know versus the devil they don't know.
And then there's the black candidate, Kanye West, who has openly admitted he's hoping to take the black vote away from Biden. You can laugh all you want, but he's on ballots.
He's on the ballot.
Is he still on it? I thought he had like a big breakdown and he was not well.
No,
he did have a big breakdown, and he is not well.
But he is on.
But he is still on the ballot in a few states.
Mm-hmm.
When did mental health rule people out of the U.S. presidency?
Well, God knows we don't have a mentally healthy president at the moment.
This is true, but he's openly admitted that he is looking to take the black vote away from Biden.
Oh, yeah. And he's also openly admitted that he's met with Jared Kushner and that the Republicans have helped him get on the ticket in several states.
And, some people will just vote for Kanye because they think it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
They will, just for the fact of a celebrity.
It's like the number of people that write in Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or whatever. They do it just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, but I think also like Kanye might get a lot of votes just for the fact that, he's Kanye. He's very well known in the media. Maybe there was a stunt as well, the meltdown. Who knows?
Well, the point of him even running was to take votes away from Biden so that Trump would win.
Yeah, he doesn't expect to win.
Yeah.
He doesn't expect to get anywhere. He's just there as somebody who wants to destabilize, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's an evil genius, basically.
He's an anarchist. That's the word you're looking for.
I wouldn't say any of them are geniuses. I would say all of them are evil. Maybe Steve Bannon is a genius. The rest of them are just fuckwits who are let around.
James had me.
What do you really think, though, Vera?
Well, being the shy, retiring flower that I am,
I rename this episode Uncensored Vera.
I think we do. I think we just call this one Vera on Fire. Actually,
is on fire.
I was just going for that.
She is.
I went there, but you beat me to it. You beat me to it. It's all right.
So, speaking of women on fire, should we segue into Ellen right now?
That poor girl is on fire.
Oh, she's on fire, but for something else.
The witch hunt at the Ellen show, ladies and gentlemen.
You want to believe these super nice celebrities are super nice, and then you find out they're not, and it's such a bummer.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. They're not. Like I've worked with someone who I really liked as a celebrity, like their TV persona and their celebrity, and then I actually had to work with them for something. It was like a photo shoot. They were the most awful human being I've ever come across. I won't say who it is.
I know who you're talking about.
Wait, what was that, Luke? What was that? One more time.
There is.
I won't say it again. Anyway, but it was like a little bit of a jolt for me. I was like, oh, you're nothing like the persona that I believed you were. Like, you're absolutely the opposite. You're just an awful human being. You do terrible things that are possibly illegal. Like, it just was a little bit for me. Like, at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I really admired this person, and they were just a piece of shit.
Can we all agree that if it comes out that Tom Hanks is a terrible person, we riot?
Yeah.
I have to quote the Dalai Lama.
I cannot handle it if someone says that Tom Hanks is an asshole. I'm not going to be able to recover from it.
But what do you think about Ellen, though, Katie? Do you think it's true? Like, do you think, or do you think it is a witch hunt? What do you think?
Oh God, no, God, yes, she's probably an asshole. But like, you have to hear me out.
I'm not willing to go there.
Okay, hear me out. If you watch some of her interviews, she gets really kind of like, here's the line, there's Ellen.
Yeah,
yeah.
And
She definitely crosses the line.
She poses it as like a fun, quirky way. Like, so you've got a lot of boyfriends. You must be a slut.
Well,
Right.
I think the producer, Andy, I mean, she tortures that man. She makes him go to the haunted house every year just because she knows how terrified he gets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to troll out the Dalai Lama here because and again, I'm going to misquote it, but he said something along the lines that the first step of finding enlightenment is pointing the right direction. And so pretty sure Ellen's not there yet, and maybe she's making baby steps, but she does do a lot of good. She's trying to face the right direction. She helps out people in need through her show. She does help animals all over the planet.
Yeah,
you know, she encourages people to be kind. So who among us is hypocritical? You know, who among us has made
would she have made those changes if she wasn't called out? I mean, there was this episode where she was handing out free stuff and she like singled out an audience member for taking more than one thing. I mean, it's a goddamn tchotchke, and you're getting all fussy about that.
Right, but in reality, like, if you even look at that, because I've heard that video's resurfaced and it's been put under a lot of scrutiny. In my opinion, I thought it was a funny video because it was something you are watching a person who's clearly breaking the rules and needs to be punished in some sort of way for it. So,
but
it was done in a comedic manner.
Who among us hasn't had a moment of unkindness, hasn't had a moment of pettiness? Come on, raise your hand.
I'm terrible. I raise my hand straight away that I'm the worst.
So we can't.
People know that, though.
Are you saying
there's many a burned bridge with Luke?
I just think we gotta let people be humans, and humans make mistakes, and humans do mad, nasty things, even in the name of doing something good.
I think, though, the problem is, though, that she's got a lot of power, though, too, Vera. So I think that's what's coming up now is, like, people are...
It's an abuse of power, and it's not just her being the asshole. It's the producers, too. They're treating the staff like hell. Would you stay at a job where someone treats you like shit?
I have.
Because the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond called her out.
I don't mean your patient. I mean your boss.
No. I think that basically in our current economy, we're all pretty much wage slaves. And some of us have stuck through some horrible, horrendous things because we can't be without a paycheck. So, yes.
Absolutely.
Don't want
I think it's interesting that the celebrities are in two camps about it now as well. I thought this was very common knowledge. I've heard this for years, that she's not the nicest person to deal with in a business sense. But you've got people like Brad Garrett calling her out, Leah Thompson calling her out, saying it all comes from the top. But then you've got Katy Perry and other people coming to her defense. So I'm sure the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
I mean, Leah Thompson and Brad Garrett, those are another like bunch of nice celebrities.
There are a lot of people who are going to tell you that I'm a bitch on wheels.
I love Leah Thompson, so I believe her.
Wait. Hold the You're not a bitch?
I am.
Me?
You say that like it's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing, but you're like,
not.
I'm a bitch. And I'm like, wait, you're not?
I got
What is that a bad thing? What is that a bad thing?
Back to my misogynist rant. How much of this is driven by her being a woman?
Oh, here we go.
How much of this is driven because women are supposed to be always nice and always wearing pink and always fluffy? And if a woman gets at all assertive, then she's hostile, she's aggressive, she's emasculating, she's demeaning. You know,
She's a bitch.
She's a bitch. Why do we not say those? I mean, we know that Bob Barker isn't always nice to people on The Price is Right?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Him, but nobody's going to call him a name because he's 100 and probably.
Is he even still alive?
Huh?
Is he even still alive?
But it's probably
But
your
like,
dad.
you know, I'm very much like, look, in my industry, same as you, Vera, like we come across a lot of people that have big egos. I just find them, like, I don't care if they're male or female. I just find if you're an arsehole, you're an arsehole. And I will just, you know, I'll deal with you as an arsehole then. As soon as you show me you're an arsehole, I'll be just like,
But women are going to be labeled as assholes a whole lot quicker than
I think definitely in the media and definitely in that public sphere, I think there is more a focus. Yeah, as you were saying that, like, and I guess that's sort of what Sandy would talk about, is the patriarchy, where women should still be good. And
Sandy, we need her tonight.
We do need Sandy. She would just go to town on tonight.
Vera makes a very valid point. Like,
she does. No, I agree with her. I do agree with her.
I mean, it's just like the Cardi B thing. Like, men have been singing about sex for years, and everyone thinks it's great. But Cardi B comes out singing about her wet ass pussy, and all of a sudden she's a whore.
She got trichomonas.
Yeah. It's like, and, you know, Meredith Brooks in the 90s singing "Bitch" to Take It Back. It was great.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, you know, women are assertive and we're bitches. Men are assertive and they're, you know, masculine.
Leaders. God.
Yeah, but I find them pieces of shit too, though. Like, man, like I have this problem with that authoritarian leadership style. Like, if someone thinks they can dictate to you, I just think the team ain't never going to work. Whatever kind of team you've got, be it healthcare, be it media. I just think if you're talking down to people, you're going to cause a lot of, dissent. People aren't going to like you. They're not going to respect you. They may fall into line, but at the end of the day, you're not building something that's healthy.
That's also true.
You know,
walks a very fine line
there's
too.
a lot of people who stayed on that team. There's a lot of. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, Steve. There's a lot of
Vera
stayed on that team with Ellen for years. You know, there are people that have left. There are people who won't be on our show again. But you know,
yeah. Ellen walks a very fine line for women in television as well, because she's that middle America's idea. She was the lesbian comedian, you know what I mean? And then
it killed her sitcom.
Right.
That killed her sitcom.
But now she's mainstream. Do you know what I mean? Now she's the golden child of TV. She's kind of. I think
that was what Ellen wanted to achieve from the get-go. When she did her sitcom, she was very much wanting to come out, and I think it killed that sitcom because, you know, the character started as something else, and the show sort of jumped the shark because she came out. And it killed it. And then I think when the talk show came along, she was able to really be Ellen. And people like Ellen. Like, Ellen's a very likable person.
I don't know if she's really being herself.
But here's the thing about Ellen. She's the safe lesbian. You know, she's lesbian light. I feel terrible saying that because this is not my territory. Okay, I would never, ever disparage the gay community. I love it. These are my people. But the thing is, she's gay light. She's pretty. She's white. She relates to a lot of relates to a lot of heterosexual homemakers, pretty much. Like, she's safe. Like,
well, a lot of this rhetoric also followed during her talk show. She went from the queen of nice to the bitch on wheels, the queen of mean. You know, she started getting called out for her tantrums and her aggressive behavior and her emasculating, demeaning behavior. And I mean, I think women are judged by a different standard, even in 2020. You know?
No, I agree with you, Vera. I definitely do. I think women in the public eye are scrutinized in a different way. And especially if you're somebody who's a little bit polarizing. Look, we have it here with the Conservative senator that there's been a few posts about on our page, Pauline Hanson. The criticisms of her are how she dresses, how she looks, like these kind of things. Where is it really relevant to what she's actually talking about?
And
that's where the focus is.
And that's what Trump's famous for. He's not going to rip women apart for their policies. He's going to tear them apart for how they look today.
Look at all the negative hate that follows Nancy Pelosi.
Oh yeah.
I love her.
She's
a powerful woman, so she gets
powerful woman, and people rip her apart. People who shock you when they say nasty things about her. People who I consider intelligent say nasty things about Nancy Pelosi that are irrelevant to the performance she's doing.
And you know what else pisses me off is AOC. They tear her apart for being a bartender. Like, really? That's what you're going to rip her apart for because she had a normal job?
All right. Did anybody catch her Trump clap back today? This is totally brilliant, and one of the reasons I will always love AOC. Trump overnight tweeted something out about her being dumb and not that bright, and we haven't seen her. She was last in her class, blah, blah, blah. So AOC tweeted out this morning, well, I'll get my transcripts and you get your transcripts and we'll see who's a better student. And the loser has to fund the post office.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
And they tore her apart when she was running the first time for that video of her dancing in a Boston University video. She was fully clothed.
Just dancing.
And it wasn't suggestive.
No, not at all. It was to the tune of Friends, wasn't it?
I don't remember what the song was, but it was adorable. Like, she was young, she was happy. It was an advertisement for the school. She was dancing with her friends. It was fine. It was wholesome. It was goddamn wholesome. And they tore her apart for it.
It probably just comes down to the fact that there is nothing else to do at the moment. So a lot of people are just jumping into these conspiracies and like celebrity things and going, let's pick it apart. Let's really, get into it because I have to pick a side because that's the way politics is there at the moment.
You're absolutely right, Steve. I think that the world is too polarized at the moment that, both sides, both the right and the left, have weaponized the cancel culture. You took down you attacked Tucker Carlson, so we're going to attack Ellen DeGeneres. There's this, you accuse so-and-so of sexual assault, so we're going to get your guy, Joe Biden, for sniffing somebody's hair. And it's weaponized. It's really hateful, and I don't know how we're ever going to recover.
Call on me. Hi. Hi, guys. Just a reminder. Hi. It's Katie. Hi, guys. Just a reminder that we've been in this pandemic longer than Brock Turner was in jail. Carry on.
Off, you get the crown.
You guys.
One more. Hi. Hi, guys.
Yes.
Hi, guys. One more. Hi. They still haven't arrested the cops that shot Breonna Taylor.
And also, Katie, while you're at it, what's going on with Ghislaine?
Oh, wow. She's not dead yet.
She's still alive, amazingly.
I swear to God, if they want to keep this one alive, they need to release everything. The only way to keep her alive is to make sure everybody knows everything she knows, and then they can't kill her.
Well, maybe she's already told people though, but who's she telling? Like, are they all above board?
How long was Jeffrey Epstein alive in prison?
Not that long. She's made.
She
outlasted him.
Yay, feminism!
Go, girls!
It's because women are tough. If Sigourney Weaver taught us anything.
Or Michelle Pfeiffer.
But on the horizon, your cinemas are reopening, guys.
Yeah,
they are reopening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, we opened a film here before it went over there. It was Unhinged with Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's put on a lot of weight, I've got to say. Holy crap.
I guess he's not hanging out.
COVID ain't treated him kind.
Right? Isn't that what he always said he did to lose weight, was hang out in the outback with his cows?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not going to bash this guy.
I think
I probably gained about as much weight as he has, so.
Oh yeah.
No, Katie, no. Like he's a big, but I'm not body shaming anybody. Hey, he just doesn't look like Russell Crowe in this film. I was like, is that John Goodman?
No, that's a bad joke.
The point is,
he looked different. He looked a lot different too.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading the comments. I came late to the party.
But it was a great performance. So Unhinged was released here before it was over there. I think that's the first in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like an American film.
Well, the last movie I saw, I talked about on here, and I still can't look at the baby monitor the same. So I haven't really seen much movies lately.
But when's the last time you've been to the movies, Katie?
The last time I was at the movies, I think we saw a kid movie, and it was, it had to be right before shutdown. And
Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, Kyle took Grayson to see Sonic the Hedgehog. I was not there. It was no, you know what it was? It was Playing with Fire. It was that John Cena movie. And it was like a couple weeks before my due date. And we said, this is probably going to be the last outing.
Wait. John Cena was like billed in a film.
He's an actor now.
It was a
lot of films.
He's done a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what killed the industry.
He's hilarious.
He's actually, Trainwreck. He was hilarious in Trainwreck.
He's about to be in the Fast and the Furious movies too.
They're still making those?
Fast 9 was supposed to come out this year, and it got pushed back because of COVID, so it'll be out next day.
When's it going to become the Fast and the Fossils? Jesus.
They're going into space, aren't they?
Still
like
mad?
the next movie to
Why
go
gotta
into
be
space.
After 9 movies, why are they still mad?
And why didn't anybody call them?
Actually, Vera, we got to...
These guys, they're running all over the world.
We got a bit of feedback from your end, Vera.
What's that?
Your mic. Yeah, sorry.
My fan is on. I'll mute. Sorry.
Well,
I didn't want to silence you, Vera.
Vera's hot takes. Well, when Steve was talking about conspiracies, I was going to go get into one that was close to his heart. He's wearing it on his shirt.
Do it. Hashtag Britney, baby.
Get into it.
Let's talk about Brit. Let's talk about
poor Britney. Is anyone following her on social media?
I am.
I do a little bit. So I get that they told her to wear yellow if she's in trouble. So she's always in yellow.
I love
it's terrible.
I just love
but it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
She's like no makeup but always smudged black eyeliner. Like she's always just come home from the club. It's 5 a.m. and then she's like her dancing is like I've seen you dancing. I have. No, because a lot of people share it. It's a little bit a bit crazy. Like she's obviously doing whatever, but she's inebriated on some level. Like I just don't know that her medication levels are correct at the moment, or if she's because she's essentially out of the public eye.
I'm going to jump in here with my psych nurse shit. I do think there's a really fine line between artist and crazy. I think that some of the most creative people in our world have some of the most skewed worldviews.
Well, yeah.
And she can't have a good one given, her.
Really, Steve? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, she's been
reality. I mean,
she's been famous since she's 14.
After we got clean, right?
She's been famous since she's 14 years old, and she was the main breadwinner for her family from a child. You know what I mean? Like, She was on the
And
Mickey
her
Mouse
father
Club.
commented on her breasts.
Exactly.
Oh, that was Jessica Simpson. That was Jessica
Yeah,
Simpson.
that was Joe Simpson.
Sorry.
That's a whole other bag of creepy.
That's a whole other baggage to unload, and we don't have time for that.
Yeah, poor Britney has been responsible for her family for, she's been the main breadwinner for that entire family, and of course she's going to stagnate. And like, there's that theory that your mental progression stops at the age you get famous, because you essentially don't have to learn anything new, you don't have to do stuff for yourself, and that poor girl has just been, pulled to and fro by the media, by her family.
That's what her brother said, isn't it? That she's never had to do anything for herself. So to get her off her, conservatorship would be detrimental to her, which I think is giving her enough credit.
An emotional intelligence that gets stunted at a point of trauma. And who's to say that the girl hasn't suffered some sort of trauma being famous at 14? God knows that Hollywood isn't known for its safety for young girls.
Well, she was a Disney kid, so that's
isn't it the point of
even
trauma
if she didn't
growth?
Even if she didn't have the trauma as a teenager, I mean, we saw her have a mental breakdown. Like, we watched it. People.
But why did she though? That's like what led up to that.
I gotta say, I wonder how she usually fared if they didn't annul that marriage with her high school sweetheart. I do. I wonder if that might not have been the love to save her. Not that
the first thing that she said after she shaved her head
I think that was
that her mother was going to be so mad at her. That was her
mother was going to be.
Yeah, like after that whole head shaving incident, and that was all meant to be private, but her bodyguards were actually paying people that worked in the salon to keep on opening the blinds so that the paparazzi could see that all play out.
Ew.
Yeah.
So yeah, and her first response was, she said to the hairdresser when she was doing it, like she was trying to convince him not to do it, and she said, "I just don't want people to touch me anymore."
Oh, I relate to that.
There you go.
I relate to that on a completely different level, obviously, because I'm not famous. But like, there are just some days when it's just me and the kids, and I just at the end of the day, I'm just like, I'm touched out. Just don't touch me. I get that. I get the need for space. And God, like.
But it sounds like she's also trying to desexualize herself as well. That's that's what I hear.
I would want to do that.
Yeah. Like, if you
a sex symbol at 14, like
17. Either way,
irrelevant. Can you imagine being a sex symbol as a teenager? That's a lot of pressure.
I wish.
I mean,
wait, Vera's talking, but she muted herself. Vera,
you muted.
We need a banner.
You just see the eyes going.
I can't imagine being a sex symbol as an adult. So much pressure. I mean, come on. You
actually, Vera, you would be surprised.
Very sexy. You are.
You could have, Vera. I think you've got like a little cult following on here.
You might have a subreddit that you don't even know about, Vera.
I started it. Vera's biggest fan right here. Bam. Bam. That's my girl.
Oh, God.
But look, all Britney's ever wanted was to have those boys and to, have a regular life, and she's kind of getting it now. But I question if she's this unstable, as the parents are saying. Why is she allowed to run her own social media? Like, why is she allowed to do that social media?
Oh, she's not. That's not her doing it.
I know, but why? Like, why? They're like, perform. It's like, okay, crazy, no worries. It's like,
yeah, she's just a monkey. They're just making her dance. Yeah. Like, literally, they're
let it put her out to pasture for a little while. She'll be happy. She's given enough to the world for a while to, let the girl rest.
Seriously, God, just give her a moment to breathe. Like, she just.
Who was the old the 40s movie star? I just want to be alone. Greta Garbo, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was Greta Garbo. I want to be alone.
That's me at the end of every retail shift.
Oh, relate to that too. Just leave me alone.
Oh gosh. So we should talk about what's coming up on our show. So we have a special that will be on YouTube with Lisa Wilcox, who played Alice on A Nightmare on Elm Street. And we're going to do like a little horror special with that. So thank you, Steve, for doing the voiceover for that promo. Because
my best
so
friend.
Steve actually, Steve's been doing a few of our voiceovers, like like the psychic readings that we had and stuff.
Oh, that was you?
That's Steve.
Yeah, random Facebook messages from Luke saying, "Say this." I'm like, okay.
And do it now because I'm editing it right now, and he's just like, he would do it straight away. I was like, oh, cool.
Like 1 a.m. Like, yes, sir.
Bossy.
I'm committed to the cause.
We get off the show at 10, right? And Luke and I will sometimes kind of go over like, how'd you think that go? That went great. And I'm wrapping it up like, all right, Luke, I'm going to bed. Wait, I need a girl voiceover. Do it now.
Yes, I did do that to you a couple of times. Like with the Power Ranger girls, I'm like, do it now.
He's
do it now.
He's done me a time or two too.
I got to get stuff done, man. If it's got to be done, it's got to be done.
But usually
I'm kind of taking this personal.
Well, now he's gonna hit you up.
Oh, Vera, no, you're gonna do a voiceover because I've done it to James as well. I've done it to everyone here except you. So you're next.
Now you're gonna get it,
right?
You're next, Vera. Actually, you're gonna do a voiceover for Lisa Wilcox.
Okay,
all right.
I hate to say this, but I don't know who she is.
Oh, that's okay. No, because we can run. Should we run the little trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, run the trailer.
Yeah.
Since you've been on Elm Street.
Don't let them put you to sleep.
Uncensored Radio's nightmare. Lisa Wilcox, coming up on Uncensored Radio.
Welcome to Wonderland, Alice.
I'm so excited for this.
I gotta say, that's one of our best promos. That's great.
Yeah, I love it. So Steve's voiceover.
I didn't know my Freddy Krueger was that good. I was like,
Robert would be proud.
On a stand song and everything.
So yeah, Vera. So she was in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. Yeah, she's in 2 of them, and she's actually one of the very few that actually is like still alive in the canon, right? Because most of the survivors get killed off later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think Alice is one of the only ones who really has stayed alive and able
she's got
to
a very
fight.
interesting hashtag on her Instagram. Her hashtag is Alice Lives. So we might have to talk to her about that. I think she might be putting it out there in the universe.
I think there's something happening there.
In remake world.
And Alice as a final girl, I want to know Lisa's favorite final girls. Because there's some good.
Yeah, actually, from Friday, everything. Yeah, we get a little opinion. Yeah, but she told me because obviously we will be pre-taping her interview because she has a very narrow window because she started working again on a project, and she just told me like I'm starting working again, but I'm available at this time, and let's just do it. And I'm like, yeah, cool. But I'm not sure what the project is. Do you have? I
had a look at it. I think it's a short film. So it's a horror film, but I'm pretty sure it's another horror short. Ooh. She is very prolific for I think there's a bit of a stigmatism to scream queens and people in horror that they, trade off their one role that made them famous. But Lisa, if you look at Lisa's IMDb, it may not be like mainstream stuff, but she is constantly working. So yeah, it'd be great to I think she'll be a really good interview. I think it'd be great to actually.
Oh, absolutely. And, and I'm so grateful for her just to get back because she got back to me straight away. And she just, and her response was just very matter of fact. She's like, this is cool. Let's do it. Like, that's exactly what she said back to me. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was trying to give her all these details and that. And she's like, yep, that's fine. Let's make a time. So she was very, she was just straight onto it. And, no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be something very interesting. Obviously, we'll talk about Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street, but we'll get into
interesting. Very interesting. She's worked with a lot of people. Like if you look at her IMDb, she's worked with George Clooney. She's worked with a lot of different people. So she's
I think we need to delve then, don't we?
Delve.
We've got another We've got another interesting show coming up next Thursday, actually. Our domestic violence show went over so well. And as you viewers may know, sometimes we have these light and silly shows, which are a lot of fun, but we also like to dig into the important issues. And an issue that I've kind of touched on in the shows prior to this and before is infant loss and miscarriage, and how there's no support really in the health system with how to deal with this, and how there's such a stigma around women and them being open about their losses and how they shouldn't talk about it. And I have a great friend coming on. Her name is Lindsay Cornell, and she took her many losses and she just ran with it. She started a support system in our local community, and she is studying right now to be a doula, which is like the most perfect job for her, because she is just so warm and supportive and loving, and she is just this amazing light. And I know she got me through my hard time. And Sandy's going to be on to give us the social work aspect of it. And I want the male perspective too, because, it's not just the women who go through it, it's their partners too.
Oh, absolutely. Look, I went through it with IVF, so we'll get into that though on that show.
So I really hope everyone will join us for that, because it's a really important topic, and I know it's a topic that comes up a lot. 1 in 4 women will have a miscarriage in their life. So, 4 women in a room, one of them has at least had a miscarriage. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that we don't talk about it more. So we've got Lisa.
Absolutely. And like the emotional toll it takes on people is huge. And it is something sort of like, what's the support afterwards? Like, when somebody miscarriages, you have a lot of support networks for a lot of other things. I'm not sure that it's that strong for women to go through that.
It's not. It's really a shake it off, kind of get over it attitude for men. It's like, you'll have other kids.
Yep, and that's why Lindsay started her system. It's God, I can't think of the Facebook group right now because I'm just in a constant fog. But she started the support group because there is no support for grieving parents after that. Like, you go into doctor's offices and they've got support groups for cancer and for diabetes and for every type of disease you can think of, and for loss, but not for infant loss and not for miscarriage. There's no support for that. And she was sick of it, and she did something about it. And I can't wait for you guys to meet her. She is just amazing. She is just, for everything that she's been through, to just be this ray of light for families and women and fathers. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing.
I'm looking forward to it, Katie, and I think it's so important that you do it. I know it's going to be hard for you. I know it's not going to be a fun show. It's not going to be a fun show, but it's going to be. But it's an important show. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that us speaking about it will give, if our viewers have been through it, we'll give them a place to come talk about it with us and to talk about it with their friends and family, and then
absolutely.
After that, we can get back to the funny shit. We can start talking about.
Yeah, we'll get to Freddie and crazy shit like that.
That's what I love about this platform. That's what I love about it. That we can have fun. We can have fun with this. And we have someone who knows Lindsay. Amazing. I hope you'll come watch the show, because Lindsay is amazing. But this is what's so great about Uncensored Radio. It's like, we can have these fun shows like this and just shoot the shit, and then we can talk about serious topics, and we do it so seamlessly. That's why this is such an important platform to have.
And then we can watch videos like this.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Jeff, I love you so much. I miss you, baby.
We miss you, Jeff. Come back to us, baby.
You know what? I think I missed that video. Can we roll it again?
Yeah, just do it one more time.
Yeah, just one more time.
I hope you guys are ready for the return. Like, that's twice now. You're pushing the Steve. Maybe one more time.
Long enough.
We play it every show.
Maybe one more time.
Well, yeah, one more. We can do
one more time. Oh, she down. He reckoned he didn't get hurt there, but look at the face. He's hurt. Look. He's hurt.
He's laughing. He said he was laughing.
All right.
I don't believe him.
So, I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. James, can you throw up all our social media? Make sure you guys.
Let's do it. We'll have to add Juice TV. Oh yeah, he's done a few.
I do that like 10 minutes beforehand. I run it all through. But you guys
did we cover all our topics? I think we did. We covered a lot of stuff today.
Topic we did not cover.
But it's
what was that?
Now it's Shark Week, y'all. Go watch it.
Oh, Shark Week.
Oh, I thought we were talking about.
No, Kevin and Karen have to do a special. Katie.
Yes, and be on the lookout for Kevy and Karen. You guys.
Yeah, Kevy and Karen. We're going to do a special before they finish my kitchen because my kitchen's like all messed up right now. But we can do it while it's still messed up.
Y'all haven't met Karen yet, but she's something else. Her and Kevy, they're in love.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Kevy and Karen met on online Christian singles, was it?
It was ChristianGunslingers.com, actually.
ChristiansGunslingers.com, yes. That's what it was. Hey, why not?
I may see.
And on that note,
I may not. I love y'all.
Bye, guys.
Roll those credits,
Bye.
James.
Roll the credits.